Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It is officially my second pregnancy update. As I'm filming this, I'm about 9.5 weeks along, but today we're updating weeks 7 and 8 of my pregnancy. So if you missed the finding out we were pregnant video or update for weeks 4 through 6, I will have those linked below so you can stay tuned on or get up to date on all of that. But for now, we will just jump right in. So week 7, baby was the size of a blueberry. I'm using the What to Expect When You're Expecting app. I don't know if you can see that. But yes, so baby was the size of a blueberry, 1/4 of an inch long. And the main thing I noticed during week 7 was just being so doggone tired, which they said very well could happen because I believe that's the week you're also building your placenta, so you're kind of doing double time. But I was just super tired. I know there was even certain days, me and Jordan tried to go to bed at the same time every night, and there was days at like 8:15 I was like, can it be bedtime? I'm so tired. So there were some nights definitely where I went to bed by myself and he just had to come join later because I just could not last another minute. Still no weight gain so far. I fluctuated about 2 pounds since finding out I was pregnant, but no like additional weight gain so far. Week 8, so definitely noticed some changes going into week 8. Baby was the size of a raspberry, which some of these fruit things are a little hard to figure because I feel like you could put a big raspberry and a big blueberry and a small raspberry next to each other and they'd be like the same size. But I upgraded from a blueberry to a raspberry during week 8 and definitely noticed some changes this week. So funny, I did not realize what acid reflux was because I had never had it before. So we were road tripping home from camping and I just happened to tell Jordan like, oh my gosh, that was so weird. I just like got a little bit of throw up in my mouth. Like that was so random. And I mentioned that it had happened a couple days before and he was like, so you mean acid reflux? And I was like, oh, is that what that is? I read that that's a pregnancy symptom, but I hadn't really put 2 and 2 together what it was. So yes, I started having acid reflux. I had it like 3 times that week. I noticed the Montgomery glands coming in, which if you don't know what those are, you can look them up. It helps with breastfeeding. I noticed like more blue veins, especially in like my chest area, and definitely had some bad backaches during this week, which they do mention there during week 8, there's like a heightening of your, I think it's called relaxin, that just relaxes like all of your ligaments and your joints, and so you can notice more joint pain during this week. And I definitely did. I had some nights where I had a hard time falling asleep because my back hurt so bad and I just couldn't get in like a comfortable position. And then I definitely started to notice that I require 10 hours of sleep, and I have been getting it. I've been going to bed around like 8 or 9 o'clock and then sleeping in until about 7 or 8 o'clock. So actually that's a little closer to 12 hours. But anyway, so I need at least 10 hours. Sometimes I'm in bed longer. And I started to notice like an end of the day bump. So I say end of the day because when I wake up in the morning, I don't necessarily have a noticeable bump, but just throughout the day, like from drinking water, eating food, whatever, I just notice by the end of the day, I have what looks like a little bit of a baby bump. I'll give you a little view. So this is what I look like right now. It's like mid-afternoon. I feel like I can notice a little bit of a bump. It's just a little bit rounder right here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking like right now. Again, I'm 9.5 weeks right now, but that is what the bump is looking like. So a few updates this week. So I officially purchased my first items of maternity clothing. I've talked about Mercari before on my channel, but it is an app where you can sell clothing, home goods, things like that, that you're no longer using, that are in good or like brand new shape. And so I've been selling a lot of clothing on there, specifically after I found out I was pregnant. I went through my wardrobe and there was some dresses from when I was Miss Idaho that like I wasn't fitting into anymore, but it was like maybe one day I'll fit into those again. And so now that I'm pregnant, I'll be putting on weight and then obviously trying to work off the baby weight again. I just don't want those things in my wardrobe that realistically I will probably not weigh what I weighed at Miss USA ever again, and that's probably for the best. So a lot of those items I went through, listed them on Mercari, and I had a really good week about 2 weeks ago selling things on there. And so I decided to take some of that money and purchase my first maternity clothing items. So first things first, I'm so concerned. I know it's still early, but I'm afraid of the day when I go to put pants on and I don't have any pants that will fit. I know I can just throw on dresses. I have maxi dresses like this that I can wear, of course, but I just wanted to have one pair of go-to pants that I know will fit no matter how big I get. So these are maternity leggings from Ingrid and Isabel. And oh, here's the front. So it has like a really tall panel on the front, a little bit lower on the back, and they're the full length version, just solid black. And especially because I work from home majority of the time, I thought just having a good maternity legging would be great. For any of those days of working from home, I can just throw it on with like a comfy top, and when things start not fitting, I have a pair of go-to pants. I'll also have, my due date is March 5th, so I will be pregnant majority of the time in the winter, and so I feel like this winter I'm really gonna be living in like leggings and cardigans or leggings and sweaters. So these were great to have on hand. So these Ingrid and Isabel maternity leggings usually cost about $35. I got these for $15, so a pretty good savings, and they are in really great shape. The other item I wanted to have just as another staple for the days that maybe I'm going into the office is a black maternity dress that I can layer under cardigans for the office. So I got this one again from Ingrid and Isabel, and it has like the scrunchy sides, so it should fit all the way through pregnancy. It is a midi length, and I think this will just be so great for layering. It has like a scoop neck, but not too low of a scoop neck, because as I'm growing up here, I'm noticing it's a lot easier for me to get cleavage, and when I'm planning for work, I don't necessarily want that. So I think that dress will be absolutely perfect for pairing under cardigans. If you guys have not used Mercari, if you want to try it out, I will have a link to that down below. Highly recommend. So that Ingrid and Isabel dress usually goes for about $30, and I got mine for $14. So again, about 50% savings, and it looks brand new. So one last thing that has been going on lately, I've been reading, I think I mentioned it in my last update, but I'm reading the Mama Natural Guide to Pregnancy, and it's been so great. I'm learning so much, and I think I'm gonna do a whole video on this, but I've been doing some research on whether I want to do a hospital birth with my OBGYN, a hospital birth with a nurse midwife team, or if I want to explore a birth center. So I've been doing a lot of research with that recently, looking into what my insurance is going to cover. And so after my first prenatal appointment next week, I think I will start looking into that a little bit further, maybe do some hospital visits and birth center visits, and then I believe they can work with your insurance to give you like a cost estimate. So then I can have both like the in-person visit and that cost breakdown and help us decide where we're going to deliver. And then I'm gonna do a full video on like hospital versus birth center and which I ultimately end up choosing. I know which way I'm leaning right now, but I know cost is also going to be a determining factor. So just lots of things to consider. Still very lucky I've had no nausea or other bad symptoms. It's honestly just been me being super tired. I definitely have noticed in recent weeks I do have more of an appetite, but I do have to eat very slowly over time. I was telling a friend yesterday that it kind of feels like you've constantly just eaten Thanksgiving dinner, and I know it's only gonna get worse. I'm only like 9 weeks in, but it's just like you're always feeling full until that second that it switches, and then you're like, I need food now. Like there's no in between. And I've even had this weird feeling sometimes where it's like I'm either really hungry or really full and I can't tell the difference. I've tried to explain this to Jordan and it makes no sense to him, but please let me know if you are pregnant as well, if you have ever had that feeling, because it is the weirdest feeling ever. It's just like I either need to eat or I ate too much, and it's just hard to know what the truth is. So those are the main things I'm dealing with right now. I've been trying to exercise, and that, along with being really tired, is also difficult. But what I've been trying to do is just on the days when I feel like I have that extra burst of energy and I can do a workout, I really try to make myself do one, because I know there will be days when I finish working at 5 and all I can do is lay on the couch. So I've definitely done my research on what kind of exercises to avoid, but it's also something I'm gonna be talking to my OB about when I see her next week. So I think that's about it for my week 7 and 8 pregnancy update. I'm absolutely loving doing these. If you have any more questions, please let me know. I'm thinking we're about a week and a half away from my first OB appointment. My OB doesn't see me until 10 weeks. So by my next video, I will have met with my OBGYN. We will have had our first appointment, seen the ultrasound, and that's gonna be a really fun one to recap with you guys. And then after that, we're doing a photo shoot so we can announce to the world that we are expecting, and then I will start releasing these videos. So when we announce, I'm probably gonna do a Q&A on Instagram. Make sure you're following me over there. And then depending on how many responses I get, I may do a full Q&A YouTube video. So make sure you're following me on Instagram at StyleByCassie. And if you're following these updates and have more questions, of course, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.